Good morning. As you can see, we are on vacation and I didn't sleep very well last night. Okay, I didn't sleep at all last night, so please forgive the look. But I thought I would do it while the sun is rising outside because some people are still sleeping. Anyways, today, I didn't bring any of my books with me, so bear with me. Today is section 101, verses 1 through 25. And it was given December 16th, 1833 in Kirtland, Ohio for the church, and the main doctrine or theme is reasons for expulsion from Zion and the U.S. Constitution. So in the first 25 verses, it talks about, I can't remember the specifics, I read it at like 1 o'clock in the morning because I forgot until then, but it talks about them being expelled from Zion, the reasons why for their transgressions, and then also it talks about Abraham, and this is the stuff that I want to talk about because it kind of stood out. Last night was crazy, absolutely crazy, and so hopefully everything I'm about to say makes sense. But this is what stood out to me last night in the reading. It was, I can't remember the exact verses, but it says that they need to be tested as Abraham. And that's kind of an interesting thought. But a quote from Joseph Smith reads, okay, so the history behind it is what I gave earlier. The tarring and feathering of Edward Partridge, and they were forced to sign a contract to leave by a certain date, and they've just been thrown out. It's not a good time. So that's the background behind it. So anyways, the quote from the prophet Joseph is, "It is vain for persons to fancy to themselves that they are heirs with those, or can be heirs with them, who have offered their all in sacrifice, and by this means obtained faith in God and favor with him, so as to obtain eternal life, unless they in like manner offer unto him the same sacrifice, and through that offering obtain the knowledge that they are accepted of him." So that alone is like, okay, so we say we're joint heirs with Jesus or whatever. But if I expect to be part of the Abrahamic covenant, to receive those blessings, because through the lineage of Ephraim, I am privileged to those blessings, but only if I live up to it. But if I fancy myself to be a joint heir with Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, Joseph, Ephraim, if I fancy myself to be a joint heir with them, then I have to sacrifice or be tested as Abraham was, which are just kind of like, that's a hard sacrifice. So the next one I want to read is from George Q. Cannon. And he says, "Here comes the command of God to this man, Abraham, who had been taught so scrupulously about the sinfulness of murder and human sacrifice, to do these very things. Now why did the Lord ask such things of Abraham? Because knowing what his future would be, and that he would be the father of an innumerable posterity, he was determined to test him. God did not do this for his own sake, for he knew by his foreknowledge what Abraham would do. But the purpose was to impress upon Abraham a lesson, and to enable him to attain unto knowledge that he could not obtain in any other way. That is why God tries all of us. It is not for his own knowledge, for he knows all things beforehand. He knows all your lives and everything you will do, but he tries us for our own good, that we may know ourselves. For it is most important that a man should know himself. He required Abraham to submit to this trial because he intended to give him glory, exaltation, and honor. He intended to make him a king and a priest, to share with himself the glory, power, and dominion which he exercised. That was an impressive thought to me. Get that sunrise in there for you. Look at that. It's very, very smoky here, and my allergies are acting up quite a bit. But anyways, so the thought of God testing Abraham, not to see what Abraham would do, because he already knew. God knows everything. God knows that Abraham was going to willingly sacrifice his son. He wasn't doing the test to see if Abraham was obedient. He knew Abraham was obedient. He gave the test so that Abraham could know himself. And I find that interesting in the quote that it says that that the most important thing is for man to know himself. And that's just a little kind of, what is it? What do I want to say? I want to say confirmation to myself with all my self-evaluation preaching and whatnot, that it's important for a man to know himself. And, yeah, so that's what I liked. That's what I liked a lot about it. Yep, that's all I have to say. My brain is a blank. But anyways, okay. That was section 101, verses 1 through 25. And tomorrow is 26 through 50. And so we will see you then, maybe with another beautiful sunrise behind me, but who knows? Maybe, maybe not. Hopefully I sleep tomorrow. Fingers crossed.